Hello and welcome back to the subscriber series in this bonus episode, once again for the conclusion of round number 2. This is the episode where we look back on what happened this round and put out some new features, as well as give out the Team of the Week awards to 15 of the best performing in each and every position out there on the field from round 2 of this series. So 3 great matches this week. It was great to see the All Flakes come bouncing back and have a huge victory. They were the real stars of round 2. The Guardians continued their fantastic form, and the Flakers, professional as ever, get the job done once again. Now, a new addition to this little bonus episode, as suggested by some of you guys, was the leading point scorer and leading try scorers of the series so far. So we'll get that into things straight away, and you should have a list up on your screen right now with everyone so far who has scored any points and any tries in the competition so far. So for point scorers, obviously it will be the kickers who are leading the way, and there's 2 that are streaks ahead in front themselves, and that is David Sloan and Douglas Eddington, who were very good in round 2. They were top performers. They grabbed 18 points for Sloan and 16 for Eddington. Apart from those 2, it's the try scorers getting more than 1 in their match. They go to Ruby Floyd, Logan Priest, Will Rogers. Lou Jones is on 10 points, but his points are all conducted through his boots, getting 5 from 5 conversions, but being right up there with the try scorers after the first 2 rounds. Just below them is Jonathan Craneen, who is on 9 points, a try and a couple of conversions, finding his way up near the top flight of point scorers. A lot of players behind on 5 points just from scoring the 1 try, and that wraps up all the point scorers from the first 2 rounds. We can go down further on here into the second list we have, and this is with try scorers. So there's been quite a few try scorers already, but you see there is an elite few already leading the way. At the top of the list we have 4 players with 2 tries so far in the series: David Sloan, Logan Priest, Will Rogers, and Ruby Floyd. They are the cream of the crop at the moment. You can see there's a lot more players. Everyone who has scored a try is on this list, and hopefully when things start to spread out and we see our top performers, we'll go to hopefully a top 10 or a top 5 point scorers and try scorers for the series as they start to get more matches under their belts. But that is that for the top point scorers and the top try scorers. A great new feature. If there's some other stats you'd like to see, do let me know in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do about adding in some more stats like that as well. But for the main event, what everyone come to see, it is round 2, Team of the Week. So this was a difficult week to choose. There was a lot of performers in the same positions, and there was a lot of positions that didn't have performance in them at all. So this was a difficult one. I'm going to try my best here to get what I think is the best 15. If you've got other ideas from the matches, of course, let me know in the comments. And after each and every match, be sure to let your opinions flow in the comments and let me know who you think has top performed from the coming matches in the future. So as always, we're going to start things off here in the front row, and we have a returning name once again performing at the top of the list. It is Luke de Normanville. So he featured in round 1 Team of the Week as well. This man was just better in round 2. He is looking an absolute superb player. One of the very few to play in the opening 2 matches as well. His partner at hooker also featured in the Team of the Week for round 1. Different position, but these 2 were standouts, and they'll probably get a rest for round 3, but the opening 2 rounds have been top-notch. Steve Gallix will be the one to start at hooker. I have to give credit here to Maximus Wilder, who was also very good, but I think the impact around the field that Gallix had was outstanding, and he was really a massive part of the team and a massive part of that match for the Flakers. They relied on him as ball running, he was strong, and the scrum, of course, performed pretty well. We'll go to the tight head side of the front row, and this is a very difficult one between someone on their debut and someone with their first match of the series. I've in the end gone for Caleb Taylor in his first appearance. Now this is a big call for the All Flakes tight head prop. He gets the nudge just over Ivan Ferryland, who was very good last week in the second row. He's come to the front row now and performed admirably as well, but just gets pipped at the post. Caleb Taylor did his call rows very well. A good scrum that he was much in control of from the All Flakes. Another clinical performance. They looked outstanding in this game, and well, there's no question why they are the team that could well make up a good chunk of this team of the week, given their performance against Clermont in round 2. So moving on into the second row, and we have 2 returning players into the team of the week, but from different positions. Last week, Chris Smith, who will be starting in the second row, was playing in the front row. So he's moved from the front row to the second row. He will be partnered by his Cornflakers teammate, Elliot Malpass, who was in the back row and has moved forward into the second row and has got himself a spot in the team of the week. So it's Smith and Malpass in the second row, both from the Cornflakers. An interesting choice here. These two performed quite well together. Smith started off a bit shaky at the beginning, but I think he'd come good and become a big part of the aerial game of the Flakers later on in the match. Malpass, as you'd know from where he played last week, a talented flanker, and that come through in the way he played in the second row as well, doing his call rolls well, but providing that extra boost to the already very good 3 back rows in that team. So we'll move back into that back row, and we have some massively talented players coming through here. At 6, blindside, Hamish Reeve. Wow, this man has got some speed and some footwork. He was absolutely brilliant for the All Flakes, and they had 2/3 of an extremely good back row that made it into the team of the week. We'll get to the other 2 in just a second, but Hamish Reeve started off some fantastic counterattacks, turnovers at the breakdown, and his speed and his presence around the field was a major influence for the All Flakes. He'll be partnered by his number 7, Tip Top, who was absolutely everything of his name. He was in top class form. He's a big unit. He's tall, he's strong, and he is very, very fast. He showed up the defense of his opponents time and time again. Clermont had very little to answer to the big open side flanker. He got intercepts, ruck turnovers, bundling runs down the sideline, kick chases as well. He was in everything and will go pretty close to being the player of round 2. On to number 8, and it's a bit of a buck of the trend. We have 2 players from the All Flakes. Now we'll be going to the Guardians, who, after dominating round 1, are not having too much fun with players in round Team of the Week round 2, but they do have the number 8. That goes to Finley Wilcox, who was immense in the match for the Guardians up against Saracens. He was very, very physical, bruising runs, huge defense as well, and he was just that punisher who controlled, who dominated, and put in the big hits and the damaging runs as well. So number 8 will be Finley Wilcox, and that gives us our forward pack. A very good one, a lot of returning players, but some massive new ones coming into the back row. I think Reeve and Top were absolutely outstanding for the All Flakes in round 2. So we're going to move on into the back line now, and we'll start off with a scrum half, and that question is no doubt about it. Number 9 will go to Ollie Poulter, who was absolutely sublime for the Cornflakers. Scored a try which he should have never been allowed to score. How he did that against the Highlanders defence, I am completely bamboozled by. Just the skill, the speed, the change of direction, the change of pace. And Ollie Poulter, fantastic around the field, quick to the breakdowns, a brilliant passing game as well. Grabs him that number 9 jumper. Into the fly half position, and this was one that was pretty hard to pick out. I had 2 players who were very much in the front running for this one, but in the end I've decided to go with James Dooley. Now James Dooley was brilliant, not so much in the same way that Rudman was, and that he was the other one I was tossing up with. Braden Rudman was very good as well for the All Flakes, But I think the impact that Dooley had was his running game was absolutely out of this world. Top shelf running. He blitzed through, scored fantastic chances and options as well. His running game was really what did the job, because he grabbed that try, which is really what kick-started his team on to a fantastic match for the Flakers. James Dooley was brilliant. I think he was easily the best fly half, but credit still has to go to Braden Rudman, who on the other side of things, his kicking game is what really won him nearly a spot in the side. His kicking game was superb, shots at goal, exceptional as well. But Dooley, well, just fantastic running down the field. He gets the number 10 jumper for round 2. So we'll move into the centres before we go to the wingers here. And after such immense talent in the centre pairings last week, it was almost tough to decide some different performances from the centres. In the end, I've gone with Will Rogers and Robbie Carsten. Now, these two played together as well, which was probably a key thing, as they complemented each other quite well for the All Flakes. So, let's be fair, the All Flakes were the surprise package and the dominant package from round 2. Absolutely thrashing Clermont, which is no easy feat at all. So Will Rogers, Robbie Carsten played very well together. Will Rogers scored a couple of tries as well. Robbie Carsten got the one. There's not much you can say about that performance other than it was top-notch from those centres, and their oppositions didn't perform as well, and so those two easily take out the centre pairing, both from the well-performed All Flakes. Now we'll move on to the wings, and this is really a really difficult one to pick out between. So in the end, I've gone for, on the left wing, I've gone for Logan Preece. Now this was a tough one to pick as well, because Eddington was absolutely brilliant for the Flakers, but I think Preece's finishing was second to none. Eddington, he had a tough job. I think Ben Smith probably defended too well for Eddington to get Team of the Week, and well, that's just unlucky. Ben Smith played so well against the Flakers, but Logan Preece scored some brilliant tries. Some he shouldn't have scored, just like Poulter shouldn't have scored some of his tries. Such strength and speed, and his ability and skill on the ball was sensational. On the other wing, we'll go to David Sloan. Now, he's the man who will be taking the kicking duties as well, and both of our wingers who are selected got 2 tries in their match. So that's where it all come down to, the try-scoring ability of the winger. That was what it was ultimately decided by. I think Eddington was fantastic, and on the other side, Henry Smith on the right wing deserves a mention as well. But in the end, the nod has gone to Logan Preece and David Sloan on the wings. That leaves just one position remaining, and that is fullback. This one was difficult to choose as well, but I think the impact of the All Flakes and the way that George Lamb counter-attacked gets him the nod at fullback for round 2 of Team of the Week. He didn't have many chances. None of the fullbacks really did have too many chances, but a couple of times it was Lamb who carved up through the middle defences from fullback kick returns and was brilliant on the counter-attack. That's really what ultimately decided it for Lamb, and he slots in at the back in the number 15 jumper. Right, well, there is your team. There is your 15 players for round 2, Team of the Week. Do you disagree? Do you agree? Who do you think deserve to be there? Who do you think is going to be the top point scorer and top try scorer for the end of the season? It's going to be a tough one to pick as well. Of course, we will be right back very soon with round 3 of the subscriber series as things start to heat up. Points start to become even more crucial, and the opponents, well, will start to spread out on the ladder, and we'll start to see who is going to be the top running sides in this Global Rugby Challenge. So thank you everyone for tuning and watching. Thank you for everyone who submitted ideas for Team of the Week as well. Keep it up for the upcoming weeks as well. It makes the choices a little bit more easy, because there were some really tough calls this week, and you have to say there's probably about 6 to 8 positions which could have gone 1 of 2 or even 3 different ways. That is how tough this competition is. So I'll be back again for round 3 of the competition. We have plenty more matches to come. Let me know your thoughts as well, and I'll see you all next time for the Subscriber Series and the Global Rugby Challenge. Until then, take care.